Hi.
Hi, how are you today, Mark?
Good.
Good. Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
How have things been since I saw you last?
Kinda hard. Not much different. Kinda hard.
Kinda hard. Can you explain to me what that means?
A lot of days of anxiety. A lot of just being anxious and nervous, and I've been having a hard time with that.
And what was that like for you?
Scary. You know, it's really scary to just wake up in the morning and not know how bad things are going to be, and not know how much it's going to get in the way. You know.
Well, I'm sorry.
It didn't used to be like this.
I'm sorry that you're going through that. What did it used to be like?
I don't know. I used to be normal. I didn't used to be crazy.
What do you mean by normal?
All this stuff is new. I mean, pretty new. I mean, you know, I feel like other people can go to the store and other people can go do stuff with friends, and other people can do all kinds of stuff, and I can't. It just gets to where I just don't feel like I can leave my house. You know, I'm just too scared.
Are those things that you do want to be doing?
I mean, I remember that it was fun, and I used to really care about friends, and I used to really care about doing stuff with family, and
do you care about them now?
Yeah, but it's too hard. I mean, it's just so scary.
What if we think about what you're going through in some different ways? Would it be okay if I ask you some questions so that we can start to look at it a little bit differently?
Okay.
Okay. Are there any times when the problem seems less severe, or that it's not going to happen for you when you're not feeling as anxious?
Right when I get up in the morning, sometimes it's not so bad right when I get up in the morning. That's why it's so hard, because then when it comes on fast, and then sometimes it's for the rest of the day. So yeah, sometimes it feels like it's less bad. First thing in the morning.
How does it feel in the morning when that's happening for you?
Like, sometimes I wake up and I have energy, and I'm not afraid, and I feel like, you know, I'm really going to be able to get stuff done, and go maybe grocery shopping, or go see my dad or something, you know, and I get really hopeful, and I feel like, you know, it's going to be a good day today, and I can be normal, and I can not be like this, and then, you know, it all comes crashing down. But sometimes in the morning it's better.
Okay. And can you think about a time when you expected to feel anxious, or that you couldn't go and do something, but you did it, and you were able to overcome that, or you didn't feel anxious?
I didn't feel anxious at all, or it was just not as bad as I thought?
Either thing.
Like a couple weeks ago, I remember we talked about it then, but a couple weeks ago, my brother talked me. It was crazy, but my brother talked me into going to this concert with him. It was a band that I really like, and you know, I thought, it's going to be horrible. I'm going to have a panic attack. I'm not going to be able to handle this or anything. And you know, we got there, and it was a little place, and I was kind of freaking out. And then, you know, the music started and everything, and the band went on, and it was dark and everything, and it was like I didn't feel like people were watching me as much and stuff. And I ended up being able to, like, you know, get lost in the music and stuff, and it wasn't as scary, and it didn't freak me out as much as I thought. It was really bad when I got there, but he wouldn't let me go, and it was his car, and so I couldn't leave, and it was in Cleveland, but it ended up being not as bad as I thought.
Okay. Okay.
that day.
Well, that's a good day then.
It was. It was really fun.
Yeah.
It was like it used to
like
be.
it.
I used to go see a lot of shows.
Well, I applaud you for making that effort, for overcoming what you describe as something that's very difficult. That's great. That's great that you did that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And to bridge off of that, is there any person that makes things or seems to make things easier for you? I mean, maybe your brother, maybe someone else.
Sometimes my brother, because he doesn't put up with any shit. He just makes me go places sometimes, even when I don't want to. Sometimes my dad helps just because he doesn't get out much, and when I don't get out much, I don't get to see him much. So I have to actually go there and see him at his place. So maybe my dad. Sometimes he helps motivate me to get out there and stuff, and not just hide in my house. So maybe my dad, maybe my brother.
Okay. Right.
Most of my other friends are gone, but maybe my dad and brother.
It's good that you have people to support you and help you with that. And another question, are there any places or types of things that you might do where this doesn't feel as bad for you, where you don't have that anxiety, a particular situation or event? I know you just described
with the concert, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that was because I really liked the band, and maybe that was because, like I said, it was so dark and everything, and even though there were people in there, it was like I couldn't see them, and they couldn't see me
Mm-hmm.
so much. So maybe a place that I could go that I could feel like everyone's eyes weren't on me and stuff.
Okay. So someplace new, like someplace where you can be somewhat anonymous, or?
Yeah, that sounds good. And it depends on the day. I mean, some days it's worse than other days. So.
Okay. So it's situational
Mm-hmm.
and time oriented. Okay. Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you another kind of odd or unusual set of questions.
Okay.
Just as a way to think about your problems.
Sure.
In a little bit of a different way. Okay, so let's imagine that you had a magic wand and you could just take away all of your problems and go back.
Pretty strong magic wand.
Well, it's a magic wand, so it can do things. Imagine that it could just take everything away and make you, as you say, normal.
That'd be fucking awesome.
Describe to me,
I wish.
Well, of course, we all wish we could take away things like that we're not happy with. Describe to me what you would be doing differently in this world.
I don't know. I guess I'd be back to normal. I wouldn't be scared all the time. I'd have a job again,
Mm-hmm.
and friends, and people would want to hang out with me, and it wouldn't be so scary all the time. It's just so awful. It's just so scary.
I'm sorry.
The bad days are just really, really bad.
How would the world treat you differently? How would people be differently to you?
I think people wouldn't look at me and just know that I'm crazy, or know that I'm freaking out, or know that I'm stressed just because I'm in the post office or the grocery store or something. I think, people wouldn't look down on me because, of my mental illness and everything, and people would, I don't know, people would treat me like a human being. I don't think people treat me like a human being. They can tell if something's wrong with me.
Well, I hope that you feel respected in here, and that you're a human being in here. Good.
It's really hard to come, but I do.
Well, again, that is something you should feel good about, that you bring yourself here despite it
Mm-hmm.
being difficult, and you should be proud of that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a wonderful vision of the world. I mean, I think that's
It would be great.
I think that's a
I
great.
don't think it's going to happen, but it would be great.
Well, I mean, we have to take little steps to get to those types of things.
Okay. What kind of little steps?
Well, let's think of what one thing might be. What would one small thing be that you would like to do?
What's small?
It could be, well, there are lots of things that are difficult, I know, you've described for you. What would be one thing that you would feel a sense of accomplishment? Going to the post office, walking around the block, going to the grocery store. What is something that seems...
People look at you when you walk. Like,
Okay.
people look at you funny when you're out walking around the sidewalk or something. I feel like people go by in their cars and look at you funny.
Okay.
Maybe I could go down to the beach. Like, this time of year, it's still not snowing or anything, and it's usually like empty during the day when normal people can go work and stuff. Maybe I could go to the beach. When do you want me to go to the beach?
Well, right now...
And how long do I have to stay there?
Well, right now today, do you feel like you could handle that? Like, on a
It's
scale
kind of
of
been
1
a
to
tough
10,
day. Okay.
where are you at? With 10 being the highest, yes, I could handle that, and 1 being not really.
Maybe a 5 or a 6. It's been a hard day, getting ready
Okay.
for this appointment.
Okay.
Like, I woke up at like 6 in the morning and I've just been kind of pacing and stuff and didn't want to be here. Didn't want to wait in the waiting room and stuff, and I wanted to miss again, but I knew I missed the last couple times and didn't want to piss you off, and so I came.
Okay. Okay, so by next week,
Next week, our appointment?
yes, we'll set up an appointment for next week.
Okay.
What do we think we can get you higher than a 5 or a 6 to get you to the beach?
You mean before my appointment?
Yeah. What do you think about trying to do that?
How long do I have to stay there?
What do you feel comfortable with?
Well, I mean, it's really close to my apartment, like, maybe like a half hour?
Okay. All right. By next appointment, why don't we give this a try? Why don't you see if you can do that?
Okay.
Okay, and then...
Okay, I can do that.
I believe you
Maybe.
can.
Not today, but
No, that's okay. You're at a 5 or 6 today, but
okay.
Maybe to get to that level, give yourself a few
Right.
days, and by the time our next appointment comes, we'll hear that you're at a 7 or an 8, maybe.
That would be amazing by itself.
That's great, and that's a step towards that perfect kind of world that you envisioned.
Okay.
It's been great talking to you. Let's set up an appointment for next Wednesday. Does that sound good for you?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Is there any questions that you might have or comments?
So I have to go to the beach and I have to stay there for a half hour. That's it. That's all I have to do.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Great. That's really great. And
thanks, Kelly.
no problem. And if you have any concerns, you can always give me a call.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good day.
You too.